Howdy, I'm Hasu, captain of the Atlus Hordem, and this is just random footage in the background of the P5X reveal trailer because I want to discuss some things about this game, because it's brought up a lot of questions. Now, one of them being, why is it China exclusive? Well, obviously, Atlus is trying to break into the Chinese market, but why can't they bring it everywhere else? It's like they already know it's gonna do well. Japan, the West, they know. It's just, do I have to explain it? They already know they're gonna make money from us. But the point is that they're trying to break into the Chinese market, and people are sneaking in, blah blah blah. So why even bother having a closed beta for China only? It's because they want data. Oh well, but they can get data if they still do it from everywhere, right? Yes, true, but again, they want isolated data from China. They want real legit, no fooling numbers, because that's what they want to do, right? China is a mobile forward market. Mobile games are prominent more than any other platform in any other region, right? That's why P5X is on mobile. I wonder why. And it'll be on PC. Why? For, again, Chinese audiences, because they have PCs, much like everybody else, for the most part, probably does. And graphically, it makes sense, right? Like, for a mobile game, you can easily port it over to PC, so it'll be no problem. But let's talk on a more logistical and or capitalistic level, right? Logistically, it makes sense, right? China is the third biggest consumer market, right? Behind, I believe, America and India or something like that. It's top three. I don't know. I know US is the other one. I don't know what there's the three to round it out. I don't know what the triforce of capitalism is. Anyway, the point being is, well, they want to make money. Atlus needs money, right? That's the goal here. They made this game for gacha mechanics so that people will buy their game. Well, they'll download the game and they'll make purchases inside the game. That's pretty much one for one right there, It's pretty simple. Why? Because Atlus recently has gained popularity and or mainstream notoriety, right? Let's take Persona 3, right? Persona 3 was, people took an interest, right, in the franchise. Entered the niche market. What did Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden do? It solidified it in the niche market. Oh, damn, Persona is a highlight of the niche JRPG games, right? Oh, it's the pinnacle of all against all the other ones, right? Because most people, when they bought a Vita for Golden, well, they bought it one mainly for Golden, and probably other games, but Golden being the prominent selling force for the Vita, right? So then what did P5 and or Royal do? Again, P5 illustrated that it made the gold standard for JRPGs. Persona 5 brought it into the mainstream, right? Because a lot of people played it. A lot of the problem of P5 was it's 130 hours, right? A lot of people didn't like that, so that's usually what put them off the game, but they heard a lot of great things. They heard the gameplay was great, the plot was great, but the big thing that was holding them back was time, right? Time was literally the only thing that game did. So, then when Royal came out, what happened? Oh my god, we had the pandemic. So what did the pandemic do? It gave people time, because, well, they weren't doing anything, so they got to sit down and play these games. They got to do what they wanted to do, which was great, wonderful, right? So, what did that do? Persona 5 Royal helped build that notoriety in the mainstream and showed, hey, yeah, sure, it's 120, 150 hours, depending on how long you take with Royal, because Royal adds like about 30 hours, so it's like roughly 150 to 170 with Royal content added. P5 is roughly 90 to 130, depending on how fast or slow you go. So it's interesting, right? Because people are, oh my god, where's P6? P5X is coming. P5X canceled P6. It didn't. Why? Because P5X is being worked on by Blackwing Studios, which is an entirely different team. And as we have already been told, Atlus is only overseeing the game, make sure that it adheres to Atlus, their lore, their rules, blah blah blah, their aesthetic, what they want to be presented from the Persona series, or Atlus in general as well. Right. So then here comes the other problem, right? It's not really a problem, right? But a lot of people do find it a problem. Well, where's P6, right? We've already been told it's being worked on. Clearly, it's being worked on. But we have had no official reveal. We've had nothing of this, nothing of that. Where's the game? What's going on? Is it canceled because of P5X? Blah, 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 blah. Calm down. Relax. It'll be fine. Calm down. Just take a deep breath. This game is going to come out. Atlus have already discussed it. But the thing that people don't realize is when P5 was not out yet, it was being developed, right? Like how video games are, duh, right? But the problem is that Persona 5 was revealed and then delayed. And then delayed. And then delayed. And then delayed again. Oh, and then the US, they're like, oh, hey, Heroes gonna be out on February 14th, right? Because Valentine's Day, take your heart edition, right? Oh, damn, sorry, we're gonna delay it to April so we can, make sure the translation is, up to par, up to standards for Atlus, right? Well, there was still a couple of errors, but for the most part, it was fairly accurate, or well done, if anything. But now here's the problem, right? They learned their fucking lesson. Oh my god, who would have thought? So what did they do? They just shut the fuck up and they're making the game. That's there you go. That's your answer. Because why? Because people were bitching that Persona 5 was constantly being delayed, much like other games nowadays. But again, obviously a delayed game is a good game, because guess what happened? P5 became one of the greatest JRPGs, if not the best. Best JRPG game on Earth, in my perspective, right? Because guess what? A lot of outlets are like, Persona 5 is now the gold standard for JRPGs. As it should be. It's a phenomenal game. Gameplay-wise, it's a turn-based game that makes you feel like you're not playing a turn-based combat game. It's gratifying. Exhilarating. It's wonderful. And people are complaining, oh, P5X is just P5 again. Not really. It's not. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It is because it's Persona 5. It's the same universe, but it's a different character, new plot. So hey, for all the people who are like, I want P5. Well, now you have Strikers, but I already played that. I want a new game in the P5 franchise. Well, here you go, P5X. Oh, damn it, what the fuck? I don't want this dumb bitch mobile game. Where's P6? It's like, are you ever gonna be happy with anything? Just enjoy the game that's gonna be coming your way, because guess what? Atlus needs that money. They have the clout, right? They have the notoriety now, but they don't have the resources. They don't have the team. They don't have the people. Blah blah blah. They don't have the people to hire. Blah, all these other things that they don't have, that they require. And what does making P5X do? It gets them into the Chinese market, the third largest consumer market on the planet. What does that do? That gives them access to a lot of potential money, a lot of sales, a lot of people looking at their games, a lot of people looking at their franchise, right? Because P5X is going to adhere to Chinese regulations, rules, blah, 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 so that they can make money. Because obviously you need that. China requires that all games go through them, so that, hey, blah, do you adhere to all our rules, blah, blah, blah. Hence all the redesigns for a bunch of characters. There you go. Is that not easy? Is it too difficult to understand? But don't worry, they're working on the game. Oh, well, what about Project Refantasy? Again, it's just all these games that Atlus have in the works. Oh, what about P3 Remake, P4 Remake? Again, why do you think they're doing that? They need money. But then they also need money now, right? Because they need those people to make those games, to help with the development, making these models, making animations, making cutscenes, making the particle effects for attacks, anything and everything you can think about, right? We need people helping make NPCs. We need people making the world, the universe, the designs, the environments, right? The lighting. Name a fucking thing, right? Name any part of any game that requires development. They need time, money, resources, and the person to make it, right? But that's it. That's all there is to it. And that's what they need. Atlus requires resources. There you go. Just calm down, relax. Hey, go play their other games. Go buy their other games. You like them? Buy the games. Oh, but I already bought it on here. Buy it somewhere else. Oh, you have it on the PS5. Buy it on the Switch. You have it on the Switch. Buy it on the PS5. You have it on both PS5 and Switch. Buy it on the PC. You have no excuses to help them out now, right? Because guess what? The more resources, the more money, the more people they have making their games, the faster they'll come out. But hopefully not, at a cost of quality. We assume. So, go. That's all I can tell you. And then the other thing is, be patient and just wait. These games are going to come. They will come your way. And obviously it's not a delayed game, but hey, because they haven't told us anything. Because guess what? Most people are like, hey, just wait. Just wait until the game is ready, 6 months before the game is released, and then start marketing it, right? Because then people will complain, bitch, moan, and whine, right? Because that's how it's always worked. It keeps getting delayed. And people are like, oh, God, is this a game ever going to come out, right? But then at least, hey, if you're not being told anything, I guess it makes sense, right? But you shouldn't, because they've already told us. They've already informed us that this game is coming out. P6 is on its way. They're developing it. Daiki Ito, who did Persona 4 Golden and P5 Royal, he's making P6. He is now the head creative director. And Katsura Hashino, who did P3, 4, and 5, the originals, and FES, because that's the only one he ever directed. And Catherine, well, guess what? He's overseeing his work, which is also, unfortunately, taking a bit of chunk of time out of Project Refantasy, right? Because it's slower, because he's helping him work and making sure that, hey, P6 is going in the right direction, and they're not, hey, new leader of the Persona team? All right, cool. We leave it in your hands. You're the next, gotta put it in these new people's hands, but also still be, in line with Persona as well. To the lore, to the, whatever rules they have. Much like how Disney or Nintendo have these weird, oh, okay, we can't have Mickey doing that, we can't have Mario doing that, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Simple as that. One more example before we end the video. Let's discuss the difference between Atlus and Square Enix. Let's take Final Fantasy VII Remake as a core example, right? Because, guess what? They have a deal with Sony. So what happened? When eventually Intermission came out with Yuffie DLC, Intergrade was made available, which is the original remake and Intermission coupled together, enhanced graphics, blah blah blah, this, blah blah blah, that, frame rate, lighting, all these additional PS5 upgrades, right? Well, guess what? That was free. Well, the remake was, and then Intermission you had to buy separately, right? Because even though you bought the PS4 version, you could get the digital upgrade to the PS5 version of Remake, and then Intermission as well, you would have to pay separately, right? Because Yuffie DLC, unless I believe you bought the digital deluxe edition or something, I don't remember how that worked. But the point is, Atlus didn't have that same deal, right? So what did they do? They remade Persona 5 Royal. Well, not again, but enhanced it again, right? 4K, 120 frames, right? For PC, blah, blah, blah. PS5, Xbox. So, what's the difference? Well, Atlus is like, hey, you gotta pay us $60 again. Obviously, people were like, why didn't you just give us a digital, why didn't you just give us a free digital upgrade for those of us who bought the PS4 version? It's like, oh, well, they don't have money. They didn't have the money, right? They need the money. They don't have the Sony money that the Square Enix Final Fantasy VII got, right? Because, hey, exclusivity? Oh, okay, cool, we gotta give you more money. And then, guess what? We can give everybody the free PS5 digital upgrade because, well, it's our first-party game, technically, right? It's our exclusivity deal, and, okay, cool. We gave you all this money, so it's going to be free for the people, for the players, for the consumers. Atlus does not have such a deal with Sony, or anyone else for that matter. Sure, Microsoft paid for a lot of the marketing, but again, right? They didn't, it's just a little more money, but again, they made a collector's edition, they made the game, again, priced, and they made physical copies. Why? So they can make more money. Sure, it came coupled in with all the DLC from the original Royal for free, and you didn't have to pay additional pricing, so basically you paid $60 for the game and all the DLC instead of paying, $60 for the game and $50 for all the DLC additionally, or I believe it's 60 on the like the PS4 version was, right? So there you go. You got all that. But then guess what? Again, that just helps Atlus. Oh, I don't want to buy that. I mean, sure, you don't have to, but you'd be helping them if you did, because they need it. They don't have the resources that Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII team has, right? They don't have that kind of money, which is where they need to go, which is where they need to be. They're trying to become a staple, a prominent figure in the mainstream, and that requires resources, but they have the clout. They have the damn, people know who we are. They have that household name now. So all they gotta do is fix that. And that's why it required them to, hey, we need to charge you. Obviously, again, right, for the Switch it made sense. Xbox made sense. PC made sense because it's never been on those platforms. But PS5, people were like, we own the PS4 version. Where's our digital upgrade for free? It's like, no, sorry. Please buy our product again. Thank you. Because they require the resources. They require the funding for future development and productions. Oh my god. It falls in line with the rest of what I've been saying. My goodness. That is the plot. That is their plan. So, if you like Atlus, join the ride. Because guess what? Trust me, it's gonna be a good one. Oh, it's a gacha game. Well, that's what China likes. They like their mobile games. And, I mean, if it's free, they'll play it, right? Because it's free. It'll get them in the door. And they just want data. They want data and money from China. They want the data to see how well they'll do, and then they want money because, well, if they do well in the country, well, guess what? They can make more games for China. They can get more resources to feed into development for other, Atlus titles. They can port over their older games. They could potentially remake older games like P3 remake and P4 remake potentially, right? You don't need to do that with 5 because we already have 5 PS4 Royal and then PS5 Royal, right? We already have 3 different versions technically of Persona 5, so to say that isn't, something. And they remade Nocturne, remastered it for, newer games. They redid Catherine Full Body. Why? Money. And they knew it would make money because guess what? It's Nocturne. People love it. I don't, but, people love it. Catherine Full Body. Oh, I love that game. A lot of people in the Atlus game a lot of people in the Atlus community love Catherine. It's a cult classic, right? So what did they do? They remastered it remastered it and called it Full Body because, well, hey, these people love the game. We know we'll get some sales out of it, and it'll help us further development on other games. We can pull more resources and money towards those people, hire more people to make production on other games go faster, right? And guess what? Let me even give you a further, deeper cut. Persona 4. And guess what? Catherine Classic. Both of them on the Steam. Catherine Classic did not come to PS4, did not come to the Switch, did not go anywhere else other than Steam for some reason. Well, one contractually, but it didn't really matter because it was on the Xbox 360 as well. But the point is they wanted to see how well it would do, right? And then guess what happened? That very same year, because Catherine came out in like February or something, and then that September, Full Body came out. There you go, see? So it's like, wait, why did you do Classic if you were going to make Full Body anyway? It was like, well, give people options for the original or the remastered version, which is phenomenal. That's wonderful news, right? Because at least, hey, you have the original and don't have to play it PS3 if you don't want to. You can play it on the PC version. Oh my god. And maybe they'll do that with other games. We don't know. But so far, it seems like they will because a lot of ports of older games are getting made. And who knows, maybe we'll see other games coming, right? We might see SMT3, we already did 3. We might see SMT4, SMT4 Apocalypse, SMT5 on other platforms. Most likely SMT5 will be an enhanced version, right? Because usually the contract will be like, oh, we can develop this on our own now. And then just add a couple of things and GG's, write it off. New game, right? Because the contract said SMT5, not SMT5 Nahobino bitch, bitch fugly edition. I don't know, whatever they're gonna call it. But that's it. Those are my thoughts. Just calm down. Atlus is fine. They just need resources. This is categorically capitalistic endeavors. They're just trying to get into a new market, make more money so that they can make more games, do all their ports, do all their remakes, do all their remasters faster with more quality, right? Because a bunch of people complained of P4 and P3 having some problems, right? Because they just chucked it into the engine and GG's. They didn't really add anything or fix anything because a lot of the audio was still compressed, or, models, text, or whatever the fuck, right? So there you go. That's Atlus's whole intention, I guess. These are their plans revealed. I don't know. Obviously, these are just, my thoughts on it, but it seems, with the evidence we're given, and just from a basic business standpoint, this makes sense. So, calm down, relax. They're not your enemy. They're trying to make your games. But again, it requires money, resources, and, people to produce and develop and release these games. So just, hashtag, be Atlus faithful, right? Be their faithful people. Buy their games. Talk about them. Let your friends know. Get your friends interested in their games. Help them out. Buy their games, and most importantly. Because guess what? They've released a lot of the DLC for the main core games for free now. After however long. But there you go. You can buy all that. And maybe not for the dancing games, or I believe Strikers. I don't know. I bought it all, so it doesn't matter when it came out. So for me, I've already paid my price. So basically, you guys get it for free now. So hey, there you go. But again, go show your time. Go show your effort by giving them your money. You want to see their games come out faster? Buy their games. Play them. Show them that you want them to make more games. You want to make them faster, because guess what? Money talks, right? Right? Oh, hey, show those companies with your wallet. Don't give Activision, don't give Blizzard, blah blah blah. This, right? But hey, you love Atlus games, so help them out, huh? But that's been me, and we are done. I've said what I needed to say. If there's any other discussions, anything I might not have brought up, I will talk about them in the comment section down below, but I think I did a fairly decent job of explaining a lot of what's going on with Atlus and why people are, scurrying and scrambling for an answer, or even, hey, please, P6, right? It's fine. Because the point is, they don't want to say anything, because then if they do, and then they have to delay it, then everyone's going to get mad. But yeah, that's their plot, that's their plan of the logistics and or capitalistic endeavors, so that's been me. That's everything I have to say on the topic. I've been Hasu, captain of the Atlus Whoredom. We have the faithfuls, but we also have the Whoredom, right? For all the faithful you have, all the faith you can have, you gotta be a whore for them a little bit, Buy their games multiple times on different platforms. Show them you're interested. Show them the numbers, right? Show them the data, much like how they're trying to do with China. Not only get data, but also, enter the market. Oh my god, who would have thought? But until then, P5X comes out, and I will play it on the channel, and also when P6 comes out, I will play it on the channel. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day, however you choose to spend it, and I'll see you guys in the next stream and or video. With that being said, sayonara.